All right, this is lesson 20, rates, ratios, and proportions. We're looking at three things that are similar. And there's three things that help us compare numbers and to understand numbers, okay? So, rates, ratios, and proportions, okay? So, our objective today, students will find rates, ratios, and proportions. There's some vocabulary up here. Ratio is a comparison of two numbers with the division sign. Okay. A rate is a ratio of two numbers that are measured in different units. Okay. So a ratio is a comparison of two numbers with the division sign. So we might want to compare like how many boys there are to girls, or we might want to know what the ratio of, I don't know, touchdowns to for each game. Like we have so many touchdowns or points per game. So touchdowns, wins versus losses for the year, and so forth. A rate is a ratio of two numbers that are measured in different units. So like one that's popular amongst your parents or most people on the road is miles per gallon. Raise your hand if you've heard of miles per gallon before. Okay, so that's a ratio, and the reason why it works as a ratio is because it's literally miles per gallon. Whenever we hear the math word per, it means divide. Per means divide. What does per mean? So when you hear the word like per something, it means divide. So what does percent mean? Divide by 100. What is cent? How many cents in a dollar?
100.
Good. So when I say percent, like 99%, 99 divided by 100. Okay. Not a trick question. You all awake? It's Friday. You're all pretty down on Friday, right? You're not getting down yet. You're not even looking for the weekend. It's one of those days, huh? Okay, proportion on the equation where two ratios are equal, okay? So, we're going to look at all these three. These are the steps. You wrote these down for proportion specifically. So we'll come back to this. Cross multiply and set the two answers equal to each other. Isolate the variable and you set them up to solve. You know that already. Okay, here we go. So, ratios. Okay, good one is ratio. So in our class, okay, let's do the ratio of boys to girls. So how many boys are there? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did you count yourself?
Oh, 8.
I can't believe it. Wait, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, so we got 8 boys. Okay, we know there's 8 boys, and how many girls are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So our ratio of boys to girls is 8 to 6, or we put 8:6, or you could also write 8/6. Okay? That's the ratio. Or, can we simplify this fraction 8/6 at all? What goes into both of them? So it's really 4 to 3, right? That's the ratio. Meaning, for every 4 boys, there are how many girls? 3. Does that make sense? 8 to 6. Let's go back to this 8 to 6. How many total kids are there in the class?
14.
14, right? So, don't the two numbers in a ratio equal to all the people? Yes? Okay, good. Number 2, boys to girls in another class period. Okay, so let's just say in my other class, second period, there are, I don't know, 17 boys to every 15 girls. Okay? That's second period. I don't know if that's true, but what if it is true? Do we have more boys here,
Yes.
or in the other class? Are there more boys to girls here or in the other class? Are you sure? Think about it. I would think we have more boys to girls in this particular class. Okay, if we were to compare it. All right. So why don't you write this down for a moment. Sorry about that. Let me put this back up. Okay. What about dance? Because my wife was a dance teacher last year. The dance team dances 7 hours per week. Okay. So, ratio. Okay. Well, actually, this is supposed to say rate. This is a mistake up here. We're looking at rates right now. I'm sorry. Okay, the second thing we're looking at is rates. Okay, we talked about miles per gallon at the beginning of this lesson, so this is supposed to say rate. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the dance team dances 7 hours per week. So on this particular one, we're going to make a fraction, okay? What does per mean, everyone? Per means what? Divide, okay? So when we see the word per, it means, again, what, everyone? Okay, so we're going to put a division sign, and what's before the division sign? 7 what? 7 hours. So 7 hours divided by how much per what? How many weeks is week?
7 days.
No, how many weeks is week? 1 week. Here's your rate, okay? That means the dance team dances 7 hours per week, okay? Or, this one's so bad. Mr. Rinkowitz drinks 40 cups of coffee per week at school. That probably used to be true, okay? That's a lot of coffee. Okay, that's crazy, right? So, oh, that's almost sickening. All right, to think about. I think that was me last year, right? Remember? I'd always be drinking coffee all day. Okay, so Mr. Rinkowitz drinks 40 cups of coffee per week at school. I used to think it's okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Am I getting all red?
I used to drink crap little monster every week.
Okay, so that was a weird moment. Self-realization. I should change that. Okay, so I don't drink that much anymore. I maybe drink like 2 or 3 cups a week. Honestly, I do.
Keyword
I don't
anymore.
I might go back to it. I hope not. Okay, so Mr. Rinkowitz drinks 40 cups of coffee per week. Okay, so what's a keyword you see up there, everyone? Per. So what does per mean? Divide. Okay, so we know this is divide, so we know that we're going to put a division sign. What goes in the numerator? 40 cups, or 40C. Okay, and what's in the denominator? 1 week, okay? Or you could even change it. Couldn't you make a ratio that's like 40 cups for every... What's another way to say 1 week? 7 days, right?
Well,
It says week at school. It says at school.
Oh, nice. Way to go, kiddos. 5, right? Days. Okay, which is now worse. So let's think about that. Let's think about 40 cups of coffee. 40 and 5. Can we reduce that fraction?
Yes.
Yeah, so our ratio really is going to be what over what? 8 cups over 1 day, right? That was normal. Okay, cups are not that big. Like, I'll show you what a cup is.
That's 8 cups that are like what, this big?
No, let me show you what a real measuring cup is. Okay, continuing. Oh, sorry. Going back. Did you guys write that one down? No?
Yes.
Okay, write it down. Go. Continuing on number, or the next one, 3. Let's figure out this one. My car drives 25 miles for each gallon of gas. Okay, so what would I write as my ratio? Someone raise your hand. Hugo. Oh, Noah, sorry.
25 miles over 1 gallon.
There you go. You know, MPG, right? Isn't this 25 miles per gallon, right? Would you agree? Okay. So that's number 3. Okay, number 4. The electric bill at my house is $45 each month. Someone raise your hand. Give me the rate. 45 over 1. And make sure you always, part of a rate is you have to have labels. So I have $45 over 1 month, right? So I know that I pay $45 per month. Okay? Here's one more that you always use in math class. Let's say you got 96%, 96%. Do you know where they got the percent sign? Look at it. It looks like a division sign, isn't it? So it's when they say 96%, it's like saying 96 over 100. That means if you had 100 problems, you would have got 96 of them correct. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay, last one, proportions. Oh, did I go too quickly?
Yes.
Okay, here you go, write this down. Okay, proportions, last one. So whenever we solve proportions, it's two fractions equal to each other, okay? So this is where you get that word cross multiply. They have to be equal to each other, so the directions here should say solve. Okay, whenever we see solve, what do we know to use? SADMAP, right? Okay. To solve proportions, there's a trick. You just get the two fractions equal to each other, and then you cross multiply. 3 times r is 3r. 4 times 6 is
24.
good. Okay, now we're looking at this equation. We draw a fence just like before, what we've been learning. Okay, are there any subtraction signs by the r? No. Addition signs? Multiply. What's the opposite of multiply by 3? Divide by 3. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. So r is equal to what?
8.
Nice. Kids are so smart. Okay, so number 2. Let's try it again. Okay. X times 4 is 4x. Good. And then we got 2 times, and we have a negative sign. 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. Okay. Are there any subtraction signs?
Yes.
No.
Oh,
That's not subtract.
that's a negative.
By the x.
That's a negative.
Okay.
It would be negative divide.
Negative.
Divide by 4, right? So you're going to always do the same thing. You're going to divide after you do stuff. So you got x is equal to negative what?
6.
Good. Isn't that easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really easy.
Did you write those down? Raise your hand if you need more time. Okay, write these down. Go. Okay, here we go. Continuing.
No one.
3. Okay, what should we do first, everyone?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. So 7 times m is
7.
good. Then we got 2 times 8 is 16. Okay. Now what should I do next?
Divided by 7.
Divided by 7. Okay. So m is equal to what? Can
It would be
can we simplify that?
No.
Is it okay to have improper fractions? Yeah, I'm okay with it. So 16 over 7. That's it. That's your answer. So sometimes you just leave it alone. Okay. Number 4. What did I say about the whole numerator or whole denominator? You have to imagine what is around them. I've said that. Parentheses. So whenever you look up here, whenever you have a whole numerator or denominator with more than one term, you could just assume there's parentheses around the whole thing. So this gets a little bit harder, right? We got 2 times x is plus 10. It's just like saying 2 times x plus 10. Right? And then the second one's going to be x minus 10 times 6. So you could say 6 times x minus 10, right? Y'all agree with me? So we've learned the distributive property last week. So you see we're going to practice the same thing again. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 10 is?
20.
Okay. 6 times x is? Good. 6 times negative 10 is? Negative 60, right? Okay, are all my terms together? All my like terms together? All my x's together? Now, which side do I usually like having my x's? On the left. So we have positive 6x's here. How do I get positive 6x's to the opposite side? We do negative 6x, right? So we got 2x minus 6x is negative 4x plus 20 is equal to negative 60. Okay? Are there any negative signs by the x? Or minus signs? Are there any subtraction signs by the x? No. Are there any addition signs? Yeah. What's being added? No. What is being added to x? 20, right? Someone said negative 4. Okay, so we got negative 20. We're going to subtract 20 on both sides. So you got negative 4x is equal to, what's negative 60 minus 20? Negative 80, good. Are there any division signs by the x? No. Any multiplication signs? What's being multiplied with x? What's the opposite of multiplying by negative 4? Dividing by negative 4, right? So we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. So we got x is equal to, what's negative 80 divided by negative 4? Positive 20. Good. That's it. Does that make sense? So that's the hardest one. I need you to write that one down for sure, okay? Okay, so answer these questions as you clean up. Go.